Hello everyone, I hope you guys are all having a fabulous Monday. Today I'm coming at you with another Minks Monday Q&A, and before we get started, let me share the bag that I'm currently using, and that is the Louis Vuitton Alma PM in the color Cerise and Monogram Vernis. Just a nice pop of red for Valentine's Day week. Alright, so let's get started with the very first question, shall we? Okay, from Paris Calci, wanting your opinion on the new pocket on the Speedy with the addition of the zipper and it being slightly larger inside. How do you feel about Louis Vuitton altering such a classic? So for those of you that don't know, I'm getting tongue-tied, my apologies. Louis Vuitton in December introduced a zipper to this pocket here inside of the Speedy. They just added a zipper, and I was actually on the phone with a couple different representatives last week, and they said that the size of the Speedy has stayed the same and the size of the pocket has stayed the same. The only difference is that they added the zipper. So I don't know, they said that everything from the dimensions is exactly the same, just the zipper. And I don't know about you guys, but I don't really use this pocket, whether it has a zipper or not. I just think it's too small. I think maybe a few times I've put my gum in here, but other than that, I don't use it. And the way that I feel about them, what's it called? Kind of revamping such a classic. I feel like they're doing baby steps to something maybe bigger. And the reason I say that is because, as you can tell, the tabs on my Speedy are the old ones, the flat ones. Now they're a little bit puffier, and they said that they did that so that the Vachetta wears better up against the canvas, and you don't have too much of the ripping here, if that makes any sense. So that way you don't have any more lifting, and it kind of adds to the overall comfort of the bag. That's what they said. That's why they did the puffiness to the Vachetta tabs. Now they're doing a zipper in the inside compartment. The SKU number is going to stay exactly the same, and I just feel, as I said before, that they're adding little things to maybe in the future revamping the Speedy altogether. Now, I don't know about you guys, but I don't know how I feel about that. I love Louis Vuitton because it has such a great history, and they have such iconic classic pieces that have been around for a very long time since the brand started, and I think that adds to the allure of the brand. If it makes me feel like they value the classics, and they want to keep it that way. So if they're going to start adding little things here and there to maybe in 5 years time make the Speedy this completely different bag, I personally don't think I'm okay with that. And I understand that they want to revamp it to maybe bring in new clients, or maybe they want to add something different to the bag just to kind of spice it up. But I feel that iconic pieces, you don't need to spice them up. You need to leave them as they are. They are classic for a reason. And if you want to spice it up, try it out with a whole different silhouette. I don't know. Maybe do a Speedy NM, which stands for new model, kind of like they did with the Pochette accessoire, and they've done with a few other pieces. They've kind of revamped them a little bit, but not to the point where it just loses its name. You know what I mean? So I don't know. Maybe it's just me. Maybe I'm just looking into it too much. I could be, but I don't know. I don't have that warm and fuzzy feeling. I feel like there's just something coming around coming down the pike, and it might not be something that I will like. So I don't know, but we shall see. But I did want to say that with the representatives that I spoke with over this past week, they said that most, if not all, of the boutiques will have the Speedies with the new zipper. So if you guys see the zipper and you didn't see it before, don't freak out. It is something new that they have added to the piece. Okay, Irene Xu. I want to sell my Prada bag to I'm not going to say who, to a famous online consignment shop, but the price they gave me is very low. I have some issues with Prada, such as all corner are scuffed, and other parts are still in great condition. I hate Prada. Their quality is not so good. Do you think I should keep or sell? Personally, I would sell. And sometimes I had to take a hit with some of my Gucci pieces. I've told you guys in the past, I paid a very, very pretty penny for a lot of these bags, and they didn't wear too well, or I just found out that they didn't hold their resale value as well. Some Gucci pieces do, but for the most part, the ones that I had didn't, and I had to really take a loss. It was a matter of me keeping the bag and letting it sit on the shelf and never using it or selling it, and at least I get some money back for it, and it's no longer in my collection. That way you could put that money towards something else, and it might not be the price that you were looking to get, but at the same time, you have to think that it's no longer in your collection and you can get rid of it. So personally, that's what I did. But you know, if you're not happy, if you're not comfortable with the price that they gave you, obviously it's all up to you. If you want to maybe see past the imperfections that that Prada has, you guys know how I feel about Prada, then you can do that. But personally, I would sell it. Okay, Kyle Cheeseman, do prices increase, my goodness, on every single item for Louis Vuitton, or is it just more of the popular pieces? Okay, so this one, I wanted to, again, I did a lot of research for this week's Minks Monday. I want to get as much information as I can, and I really want to see if a lot of these Louis Vuitton sales associates are all on the same page. And for the most part, with this question, a lot of them kind of got tripped up, especially my one of my sales associates. Some of them said that the whole house increases, but I have also found out from personal experience that not everything increases at the same time. For example, sometimes maybe one quarter or one season, they'll have all of the bags and SLGs go up, and then they'll have ready to wear, and then they'll have shoes, they'll have things like that. So I know for a fact from what I have learned, I could be wrong, but the entire house does not go up in price at the same time. But I did have some sales associates say that. Now, some items might remain the same. So one of them said, yeah, they all go up in price. And then that same representative said, well, not all pieces go up in price, but some pieces do. And I was just thinking, well, you kind of contradicted yourself. You just said that the whole house increases. But they also, I had another representative said that, mostly the popular bags tend to increase the most, which we all know, the Speedies, the Neverfulls, the Artsies, things like that, versus some of the less popular bags that won't increase as much. So for example, I'm not saying that this is exactly the price increase that it is, but let's say that the popular handbags increase a total of 8%. Maybe the less expensive or the less popular bags will increase maybe anywhere from 4 to 5%. So nothing is certain. Nothing has a complete percentage that it increases. And I really don't think, as I said before, from personal experience, that the whole house increases at the same time. I think they go from different seasons and different quarters. But no. But thank goodness, as of right now, we are in February and still no price increase. Yes. Hopefully they'll leave it that way. Okay, Everyday Glam. If all your bags and SLGs disappeared, what are you guys doing to me with these questions? Which bag and which SLG would be your first to repurchase? If all your bags and SLGs disappeared, oh my goodness. Okay, my first SLG, definitely no surprise. You guys know the best of the best SLG, in my opinion. The last standing SLG for Louis Vuitton, or Chanel for that matter, would be the Louis Vuitton 6-ring key holder. I have told you guys how much I love this piece, how great it is, and I'm not going to get into it right now because I can still continue to talk about it. Now, which bag? Oh, my goodness. I think I'm looking around. I'm looking around my room right now. I'd have to say it would probably be my Chanel Jumbo. My Chanel Jumbo, definitely. Even though my Holy Grail for Louis Vuitton is the multicolor Speedy 30, you know, there's just something special about that. I do love the fact that I have used the Jumbo, and I love the Jumbo, and that was also a Holy Grail piece for me. Plus, it's a lot more expensive than that one. So I think it would be smarter to try to replace that one, in my opinion. But it would honestly be difficult between the two, the Holy Grail bags from Louis Vuitton and from Chanel, but I would probably have to say the Chanel Jumbo. Maybe. I don't know. Can I do both? I mean, what if I got one pre-loved, and what if I bought two for the price of one? Right? I can do that. I'm trying to cut corners around this question, obviously. Okay. Melissa Chevalier. I'm sorry You mentioned before that you love Demi Ebene, but most of the times when you show us the bag you're using, it isn't Demi Ebene. Have you seen the Demi Ebene Muse bag yet in person? It kind of reminds me of the Givenchy Antigona, but it's quite less expensive. Do you have an opinion on it yet? You are correct. For the most part, I tend to show off more monogram pieces than I do Demi Ebene. Now I currently have two Demi Ebene bags in my collection. And really the reason why that is because I don't feel that Louis Vuitton makes the most attractive bags in Demi Ebene. Yes, they have some of, you know, where you can get the trifecta, the Demi Azur, the Demi Ebene, and the monogram. But for the most part, they don't have some that really add to I mean, I feel like they're not as attractive as some of the monogram pieces. Does that make any sense? I feel like, I don't know, maybe they're a little bit boxier, or they're a little bit, I don't know, they just don't feel as, now, if Louis Vuitton made an artsy in the Demi Ebene, yeah, I would be the first in line to get that. But I'm just saying that I don't feel that they make as pretty bags in Demi Ebene. That's just my opinion. They do have pretty bags in Demi Ebene, don't get me wrong, but they're not some that it would be the first choice for me to get. And I have seen the Muse bag, and the Muse bag, you're definitely right. It does look a lot like the Givenchy Antigona, and I believe it retails for $18.20. I haven't seen it in person yet. I'm hoping to see it later this week, and I don't know, from the pictures that I've seen on it, I'm not too crazy about it, but I am very much so intrigued about the size. Yeah, that's kind of, you know, why is Louis Vuitton making a bag that looks like another designer? When they don't like it when another designer, you know, makes bags like theirs. Good point. Okay, Black Dragon 482. I'm looking to add a Neverfull GM to my collection, finally, but I'm having trouble deciding between the eventual wear and tear of the monogram versus the Demi Ebene print. I'm worried about the stiffness, cracking, and peeling known to occur with Demi Ebene, and I'm also not the hugest fan of the blackened straps after I've seen older monogram Neverfulls, which seems ubiquitous, great word, all around. Is there any way to avoid the uneven patina? And has Louis Vuitton made changes to make the treated Demi Ebene straps less prone to cracking, as it is a known issue? I actually haven't heard of them changing anything, but I also have seen a significant decrease in a lot of people talking about the newer pieces having issues with the cracking and the peeling of the top part of the leather, of the color treated leather. Now, what can you do to avoid an uneven patina? Really, I've told you guys before, I personally I don't like to use any other conditioners. I don't like to use anything like that. I think just normal wear, normal use really, you know, creates a great even patina. When you first get your piece, I always advise you, from something that my sales associate said, to leave it out on a table for a few days, and that will kind of get a clear, you won't be able to see the patina, but it will start to kind of get the patina on its own process, kind of adding a little bit of a clear coating of patina, if that makes any sense. So you leave it alone, and just it being in the room, and you know, you don't want a room that has too much sunshine or too much anything like that. You just want to leave it kind of on the shelf, and it'll start to acquire a very slow patina that you will definitely not be able to see when you first see it, but it will start to kind of coat the leather to be able to give you a more of an even patina. You want to make sure to avoid handling water right before you grab your bag, or lotion or anything like that. If you just use it normal, you guys know I do the same thing. I feel that most of my pieces have a great even patina. For example, my Demi Azur Speedy 30, I haven't done anything to it. I left it alone, and as you can see, this bag is going on, I think, is it 2 or 3 years now that I've had this bag, and it just looks like it has great patina. So that's what I would do. Just be careful, be mindful of what you use before you handle it, and you should be fine. Okay, but definitely I would go for, you know, I really like the monogram. I do. I love both Neverfulls, and the GM, since it is a little bit more of a bigger bag, and it might start to dig into your shoulders just a little bit more because of the stiffened leather with Demi Ebene, I would go for the monogram, because the monogram, the leather just is very, very comfortable, and it doesn't dig into you as much. And I did notice that with my Neverfull MMs, that the Demi Ebene digs into my shoulder, and the Neverfull Monogram doesn't do it as much. It still does it, but not as much, especially if you're carrying too much in there. Okay, Robin Russell, your GST, is it just beige or is it beige Claire? I looked at the beige Claire double flap, but didn't like it in the silver hardware. Your silver hardware looks fab on your bag. And I have it here. Yes, I still have the little stickers. Leave me alone. This is actually, I looked it up. On the box, it says just beige. This is from the 2014 Cruise collection. And I looked up Beige Claire, and it looks like Beige Claire has more of a, I saw a ton of different pictures. It looks like the Beige Claire has a little bit more of a yellow undertone. It's a little bit warmer. And this one just seems to have a little bit more of a cool undertone to it. But then again, I saw some Beige Clairs where it was the total opposite, so who knows. But this is a seasonal color, and you can tell also because it does have the gray interior. The classic, the continuous colors, such as the beige, will have the lighter colored satin, or the lighter colored interior versus it being gray. But I do like it for that reason. I like the fact that because it is that cool undertone, I feel that the silver hardware really, really complements the bag. And thank you. I love this color as well, and I like it because it's not too warm. It's just the perfect shade of beige in my opinion. Okay. Anna Overcash, have you seen the new Palace clutch? I'm not a fan of the red, but the cherry is just, I don't carry a lot, and I feel it would be good. It would be a good all-around bag. Opinions? Louis Vuitton recently released the Palace clutch, which retails for $1,100 here in the States. I could be wrong, but it looks like a classier Eva clutch. It has the zippered closure up top, but it looks like a Palace chain bag or Palace shopper. It has that nice little leather in between the canvas. It's a very nice bag, and I think it's a little pricey, especially since the favorite is still, I believe it's $935 or $985. I can never remember the exact pricing for it. My goodness. But it is a little bit pricier, but you're right. There's just something about it. I feel like it's a classier Eva clutch, and I am excited to see that as well later this week. So I will have a lot of news on all those pieces. Okay, Tirana 6. Please do a Valentine's Day storytime Saturday. I would love to hear the story on how you and your hubby met. There were a few other questions that they asked, and I don't think I'll be doing a Valentine's Day story time, just because we will be going away for the weekend. I'm hoping. That's kind of what he's hinting at. And you know, I don't know. You guys tell me if you want me to do a whole, segment, I guess, on my hubby and I know he won't be in the video with me, but maybe I could have him here and he can talk as well, so you guys can hear from him, not from me. So let me know if that's something that you guys are interested in. Okay, Nicholas Humphrey, what do you think on people buying pre-loved bags and painting / dyeing Vachetta and vernis? I see lots of people dyeing their Alma Vachetta black to match the new Alma with studs. I am very intrigued by this. There are a ton of posts, a ton of threads on people dyeing their Vachetta to make it look different, And I think that, I really like the idea to a certain extent, because I feel that it really, really personalizes the bag even more. We all know that there's a designer out there who does their own portraits or own kind of like, illustrations on the Birkins, and I feel that this is great. Yes, it's DIY, and from what I have seen on the threads, it is extremely difficult, and it's very, very time consuming, so you have to have a lot of patience with it. But I really think that if you have a piece that maybe especially for the vernis that started to yellow, and you really like the piece, it holds sentimental value. And if you want to try to revamp it, and you want to try to bring it back to life by doing a little DIY on it, then why not? Right? And as far as the Vachetta goes, we all know, as we talked about in a previous question, that sometimes the Vachetta tends to get really, really dark over time. A lot of people are turned off by it because it starts to look a little too used, and I feel that this is a great way to go around it. And I'm actually thinking about doing it myself. I want to buy a piece, not with any of my pieces, but I want to try, I want to buy a piece to see how, if I'd be any good at it, and, you know, and try it out and kind of do the process and then show you guys if it turns out okay. But I am for it. If someone wants to revamp their bag and do a little DIY, why not? Okay, Elaine Howard, can I ask you a question? If you had a lottery win and you could buy your top 3 bags from any brands, no matter what the cost, what 3 bags you would never dream of selling? Oh my goodness. Okay, so I have a confession. I have been looking at, and I really think it's because of Minks Monday. If it wasn't for Minks Monday, I don't think that half of these bags would be in my collection. I don't feel that half of these bags I would think twice about, you know, and because a lot of these questions come up and we get to discuss them, I have been looking at a Birkin. I know. I said I wouldn't, at the moment, a Birkin is not for me. But if I did win the lottery, you bet your sweet butt I would be in line, I would be on the wait list or what have you to be able to acquire that bag. So the 3 bags, first and foremost, would be a Louis Vuitton Alma GM in the color Rose Pop from with monogram vernis. You guys know that is my white whale. I know that there are some bags out there that that are available in the Rose Pop, but the GM with, I mean, it has to be in pristine condition. That is what I would want. Another one would be the Birkin. I would get a Birkin with red leather and palladium hardware. I just really like that combination. I think it's beautiful. And I don't know if I really do like the Kelly, the Hermes Kelly a little bit more than the Birkin. I just feel like it's a little bit more my lifestyle. So I don't know if I would end up getting a Kelly black leather with gold hardware, but they would have 2 of them would definitely be Hermes bags. I know, but I feel like I don't need, actually, I take that back. One would be the Louis Vuitton Alma GM in Rose Pop, right? One of them would be the Birkin, either the red or the black, and the other one would be a Chanel Strass Crystal jumbo flap. Because they have the classic flaps, or not the classic flaps, but they have flat bags and they have just Strass crystals throughout. I think they're like 20, I think they're $20,000 or maybe $18,000 or something like that, but they are gorgeous. That's what I would get. That is so my style. So those 3 bags from 3 different fashion houses, 3 of my favorite fashion houses. Okay. Madam L, I have a question. Is the monogram canvas vulnerable to color transfer from black jeans or dark color clothing? Is it better to buy empreinte leather because I heard it is less vulnerable to color transfer? This is a great question. Empreinte leather is fantastic. I think it is not a worry-free, yes, it's a carefree type of leather to a certain extent. The only thing they have to worry about with empreinte leather is that over time the embossing won't be as deep as it is when you first get it. It'll start to wear a little bit more and it'll start to slouch a little bit more. So that's really the only negative that I would say on the empreinte leather for the future. But you still have to worry somewhat with the leather, especially if it's a lighter leather. So if you were to get a Dune or a taupe or something like that from Louis Vuitton with the empreinte leather, you still have to worry about that. But if you were to go with noir, you obviously don't have to worry about it whatsoever. Now, when it comes to the monogram canvas, it is still, obviously we all know that the Demi Azur is the most susceptible to getting color transfer. Next in line would be the monogram canvas, but not so much the canvas, more so just the vachetta, the leather that you would get. So for example, if you were to get a Speedy bandolier and kind of use it crossbody and you have dark jeans or you have black jeans, more than anything, you will start to get color transfer on the vachetta versus getting it on the canvas. The canvas is pretty much, I'd say to a certain extent, resilient to color transfer. And obviously we all know Demi Ebene, you don't really have to have too many issues with it. So you don't have to worry about it. It is less vulnerable to getting color transfer, but you just have to worry about the vachetta getting the color transfer because we all know the leather will start to rub up against your jeans or whatever it is. Kind of like with my backpack. I wore it 2 weeks ago. We were in Arizona and I was just you know, sport my backpack like it was nobody's business. And I had jeans that I have worn a million times and I have washed a million times. And I still ended up getting a little bit of color transfer on the vachetta itself from the bottom of the backpack. So that's all it was. And I didn't get it on any of the canvas. So you should be fine. Okay. Kalinda Girl 29. Is it really necessary to keep all your Louis Vuitton boxes, being that they tell you shouldn't store your bags in its box? After buying a bunch of purses, one that run out of space. One might run out of space. Okay. Would really like to hear your thoughts. Okay, so a lot of the boxes that I have up there tend to house the boxes for my SLGs down here. Now, the reason why I like to keep the boxes is in the event that there have been some pieces that I have sold without the boxes, but in the event that I want to sell a piece, I would like the following owner, or the person that wants to buy the piece, the potential buyer, to have the same experience I did minus the store. I want them to have the box. I want them to have the ribbon and everything that buying a Louis Vuitton piece entails. And that's the only reason. Some pieces, you don't need to have the box. It doesn't add to the value of a piece, but it does help the second buyer, the potential buyer, to feel comfortable in purchasing it because they want everything. So let's say that the potential buyer is, that's going to be their first piece, they want their first piece to have the box, to have this, to have that. So it doesn't add value to it, but it really adds to the allure of purchasing pre-loved. And I really do like to keep them because it houses all the boxes, like I said before, for all my other SLGs. So they're all in there, and I have receipts in there. I have a bunch of stuff in there, so they're not empty. But I do, in the event that I sell some of my monogram pieces or some of my larger Louis Vuitton bags, I know that I will want to sell them with the boxes. So that is why I like to keep them. Okay, and last question. Love Her Madly 50. Question: when you travel and either bring a few luxe bags, or purchase on your trip, do you just leave them in the hotel or hide in the luggage? Like, I worry about something getting taken from my room by an employee. So many wonderful people work in the housekeeping industry that are trustworthy, but there's the occasional one that isn't. This is a great question. So when I travel, for example, when we went to Italy and Paris, I had my Moyen Montserrat in the MM size, and I had my Eva clutch. Those are the only two things I had. I don't really like to carry bigger luxe bags, especially if it's somewhere that I've never been and somewhere that I want to do a lot of walking around. I don't want to have to carry a bag with me. I want to be hands-free, so crossbody is always essential. But I did obviously purchase quite a bit, and I left it in the room. And I was worried. I still sometimes get worried. If I have a little bit more jewelry and like some of the earrings and the Hermes click clack, I put that inside of the inside of the safe with a few other things that we needed in there. But for the most part, I just leave it out, and I hope for the best. I really do. There's nothing you can do. If anything, you always have the cameras, right, seeing you bring it into the hotel, so that's always a plus. But I will recommend something, for those of you that are kind of a little apprehensive to buying so much when you're out and about and you're getting your luxury goods. I would make it a note to, when you walk into the hotel, this might be bad, I don't know, but I would make a note to kind of refer to the piece, or have someone that works in the hotel or the place that you're staying refer to the piece, or purposely see you with the item. So that way, if there's anything whatsoever, you can say, well, so-and-so saw me, they saw me bring it in, and now I'm leaving, and now I don't have my items. Obviously, I'm nowhere home, so it's not like I hid them anywhere. You can't hide big boxes from Louis Vuitton or big boxes from Chanel inside of your luggage. You could try, but but obviously someone will see. So that's what I would do. If you're a little bit apprehensive, just maybe make a note of it and just say, oh my goodness, can you believe all this shopping? Or something small, something to the point that you know that they know that you have the item. So I don't know if that helps, but that's sometimes what I have done when I feel very uneasy about the place that I'm staying. If it doesn't make me feel all warm and fuzzy, but for the most part, I have stayed in some fantastic hotels, and they have been very, very, very nice and very awesome, especially when we go back to the hotel and we're going right back out. I leave it at the concierge desk and they take it up to our room. So it's all a matter of trusting, right? All right, you guys, so that does it for Minks Monday Q&A. Thank you guys so much for all the wonderful questions. I hope I was able to help. And this week I have an organization video for you, and I have a what's in my bag since I didn't do one last month. All right, you guys, so I'll see you tomorrow. And as always, make it a fabulous day or not. The choice is yours. Have a great day, you guys.